Welcome back to World Crisis Radio. The question is, therefore, if the Democrats are defeated, what lesson will they draw? Will they say it's time to become more open Wall Street stooges than we've been so far, drop some of the Obama dissembling deception rhetoric, or might there be some other tendency? The signs are not good. Wall Street Journal, as I say, Thursday, October 28th, foes plan post-vote deals. And unfortunately, Senator Russ Feingold of Wisconsin, who may not be around, a liberal Democrat who is trailing in his reelection bid, is working with ultra-reactionary Senator Tom Coburn, Republican of Oklahoma, a Tea Party hero, on new legislation to trim billions of federal subsidies and other spending programs, said Mr. Coburn in an interview. Now, this might be an attempt by Coburn to help a friend if in trying to get reelected. I don't know. Two other Democratic Senate candidates, Chris Coons of Delaware and Joe Manchin of West Virginia, are bucking the Obama administration's policy on letting the Bush tax cuts lapse for the wealthiest plutocrats and fat cats as momentum builds for a broader extension of the cuts. This is Rupert Murdoch talking through the Wall Street Journal, of course. Vice President Joe Biden and Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell have suggested that they see room for negotiations on taxes and trade. Dear Democrats, this is the wrong lesson. If you don't do well as a Wall Street puppet, it's time to stop being a Wall Street puppet, and there may be some who could get that lesson. We'll give Feingold a pass at this point because he's fighting for his life and he may not make it. So we'll hold that one in abeyance. But you get the idea. The dangers, of course, take the form of the Bowles-Simpson Commission, the Austerity Commission, let's call it the Bowles-Simpson, Andy Stern, Alice Rivlin Commission, really the Peterson Commission, because the dominant personality of this thing is Peter Peterson, the former head of Lehman Brothers. Lehman Brothers put Lehman Brothers on a good footing so that it blew up some years after he left. And they're going to come forward, apparently, here we go, key tax breaks at risk as panel looks at cuts. So the BS Commission, the BS Bowles-Simpson Commission, says, the Wall Street Journal here, 25th of October, sacrosanct tax breaks, including deductions on mortgage interest, remain on the table. That is to say, are in danger, just weeks before the Deficit Commission issues recommendations on policies to pare back with the aim of balancing the budget by 2015. This insanity, you can't balance the budget by 2015 without killing a lot of Americans. We reject this goal, and we reject this rotten commission, and we reject Andy Stern of the SEIU, a real thug who has been on the commission and is in favor of investing Social Security money in the Wall Street derivatives casino, despite the flash crash of May 6th in which the Dow lost 1,000 points in 10 minutes. You want to put your retirement money into that? It's all run by, probably about 10 or 20 market players. There's no market. It's an oligopoly there. You've got to have flash trading computers to do this. So we will be interested in mobilizing ourselves now in the critical November-December period to fight these austerity ghouls. Right here on the eve of Halloween, the austerity ghouls come out, the vampires and the bloodsuckers. Bowles, Simpson, Andy Stern, Rivlin, and Peterson in the background. He runs the staff. He runs the results. They say that they don't think that they'll be able to attack Social Security directly and that the results will take too long. They're going to try anyway, though. Don't believe what they say. That's probably a pre-election line from them. But you can't cut the mortgage tax deduction. That's obscene. We have the answer. The Tobin tax, the Wall Street sales tax, the Robin Hood tax, the securities transfer tax, the financial turnover tax. Wall Street pays for the depression. American homeowners are going to get shafted again under the bipartisan impotence of Obama and the reactionary Republicans coming together to make you pay for the depression. No, the answer to these questions is a matter of class consciousness in the sense that Plato and Machiavelli would have understood and did understand class consciousness. There are plutocrats, patricians, and then there's you, working people. The answer to this stuff is class against class. And it means working people defend themselves in the constant class warfare waged by the super rich, by people like Rupert Murdoch with Fox News and the Wall Street Journal and everything else that he owns, Sky News, if you're in Britain, and the Australian and all the rest of this that he's got in different places around the world. Fight back. And the answer is there's a depression. Who created it? Wall Street speculators, City of London derivatives mongers. Who pays for the depression? Wall Street and the City of London pay for the depression. And, of course, their tentacles in other places, be it in Toronto or Melbourne or wherever it is, Frankfurt, Paris, you know the deal, Tokyo. They're everywhere. The finance oligarchs did this. They pay. No austerity measures for the population. And it's going to be important to be able to put together even a crowd of 5, 10, 15 people at certain key points now, November, December, to at least make the point that there is an organized resistance. I'd get some pictures taken of yourself in the middle of all this. We've also got the Fed, of course, is coming on with QE2, and the model for what they're going to do, if you want to see the depth of the cuts, take a look at that British austerity program brought forward by the Tory David Cameron and his little, Batman and Robin, his sidekick there, Clegg of the Liberal Democrats. Cuts deeper than the ones made by Margaret Thatcher in the 1980s. Eliminate 500,000 government jobs, slash welfare benefits, cut $131 billion worth of other public spending to balance the budget there. They're cutting fighter jets, Social Security, and the arts budget. Also, they're going for 2015. It's impossible. And we know from the ballooning experience in Germany, if you try to deal with the depression with deflationary measures, you will destroy your political system and open the door to the worst kinds of fascism and Nazism, because that's what ballooning did. And your deficit gets bigger. Your deficit gets bigger because you've cut your level of overall economic activity, you've cut your tax receipts, and you've increased your expenditures to somehow deal with this masses of desperate, unemployed, homeless, starving people. That's the future. And we got another bunch of austerity ghouls right here on the eve of Halloween. We've got Gary Hart, fresh from the townhouse, and Donna Rice, I don't know. Bill Bradley, one of the biggest puffed-up non-entities. I think Bradley competes with Colin Powell for the most overrated public figure in the United States. And Danforth, and of course, this is a blue blood. This is the Ralston Purina fortune. This is the grain cartel speaking. So these austerity ghouls, Hart, Bradley, and Danforth, they want to raise the tax on gasoline, more regressive taxation from oligarchs. Bradley works in Wall Street. Hart, I don't know what he does. Danforth is a super rich jet setter of the Davos type. So these characters want you to pay more for gasoline. No, we want you Wall Street oligarchs, you fat cats, you pay more on your flash trading. You pay a 1% Tobin tax, and everything else falls into place. We're also interested in stopping foreclosures. Now, let's get on some of this stuff. Obama has proved in the last 2 weeks that he is incorrigible. He is a hopeless case. When you have an agent of this type, agent of finance capital, right, groomed by the Trilateral Commission, there's always the possibility, once you get to be president, if you decide to take things into your own hands and break free of the control mechanisms, you say, well, I'm president. I can do a lot of things. I can do pretty much what I want, at least for a while, depending on the consequences. I'll rebel and save myself politically, and I'll dump my controllers. Well, it's not happening, and we'll have the proof in just a second here on World Crisis Radio.